Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Furtadio Experience, the podcast that leaves you feeling more conscious, engaged, and fulfilled to be an impactful leader. So, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about knowing your impact. So, first off, I want to define what really is knowing your impact. To me, it's kind of like finding your role on the team, right? Not everyone can be LeBron James. Not everyone can be a bench warmer, or vice versa, right? You have to know the strengths and the passions and everything that you bring to either your team that you're at now or where you want to go in the directions that you are going. So I'll share a little bit about myself and my own entrepreneurial journey. So, kind of getting in towards the end of college, I started to take a little bit more to entrepreneurship and honestly just like creating. But there are different ways of doing it, and of course you have to find what doesn't work to find what works. And so what I found doesn't work for me is, for me as an entrepreneur and as a creator, I'm not the product driven side where I can like really make like a great product and then like I have like these sales skills to like go out and sell it, right? I think I'm more of a relationship person, which is why I am kind of shifting the way that I am approaching entrepreneurship. I'm building a relationship with a business partner now, and we're kind of going at like working with teams versus working with individuals. But that's a separate podcast for another day. But to go back even further and to realize like I'm a good coach. I coach basketball, obviously, as most of you probably know. Going back into 2015 when I was playing summer baseball, I had a teammate turn to me and just say, Furtado, you'd be a great coach. I'd like you to coach my kids. Like, obviously it was a joke at the time, but I was just always encouraging. I always have that like ability to bring people together and had that team camaraderie. That's something that just comes naturally to me, right? It doesn't come natural for everyone, but something that doesn't come natural to me is like keeping things in order and doing Microsoft Excel and like being an incredibly organized person. Like, you're hiring the wrong person if that's what you're hiring me to do. So my skill sets lie in a different place, and I know that about myself. And really, when you actually kind of like figure out your role, whether it's in your day job or even with we play roles like in our own families, like in our own friend groups. Like, who are you? Right? Like, what strengths do you bring to the table? Because we're going to be there are studies that show that when you're acting, especially in the workplace, on your own strengths, you are going to be significantly more happy and feel like you belong at the workplace because you're contributing more, right? Like, if you ask me to go and do Microsoft Excel sheets for a team, like, I'm going to let the team down, right? But if you give me an opportunity to kind of lead and put and bring people together, like, I will thrive at that. Like, that's something that I thrive at, and I have continued to thrive at throughout my young career. So I know that about myself, right? And going back to the entrepreneurship thing, my ego thought that I could like do, like I could be this or that, and there are certain entrepreneurship kind of avenues that I could have taken, right? But I just wasn't good at them. I wasn't good at like being the like raw sales guy, like pitch, and it just wasn't authentic or genuine to me. Right, and it's knowing your impact is being genuine to yourself and like knowing what you're good at the end of the day. So, with that being said, like, I want to give you some tools, some questions to ponder. Thinking about what am I good at? What lights me up? Right. So some of the questions are like, what comes naturally to you that just like doesn't take a lot of energy, but that you're good at and other people don't have. Right. So, number 2, right? It's going to be a very similar question, but what is just like, what energy, what gives you energy, right? Is it talking to people? Is it writing? Like, what are the certain things? And then there will be characteristics of that, right? Like, for me, I really learned like for 3 months, maybe not even about 3 months, I was doing like just basically the online thing, and I just wasn't getting my human interaction in, and I wasn't getting even my teamwork. Like, I know for me, like, I like working one-on-one with people, like as a part of teamwork and a part of building relationships. But I know for me, like, I really like being stimulated by a lot of people, right? Like by a team. And I know that about myself. So that's just what I enjoy. And for you, think about like, what are you not good at? Like, what drains your energy, right? Because I think finding what drains our energy also is a way to be like, counter the opposite. And of course, you're going to have things in your job and things in life that, are going to take your energy, right? I mean, like, there are things like about like, teamwork and leading that drain my energy, like, certain behavior problems. I'm not going to like be like, oh, yay, Jimmy's acting out today, so I have to correct this behavior, right? Like, no. No. But it's just a part of what I do enjoy doing in the meantimes. So asking yourself some of those questions, those are just picking up points, right? How can you expand on that? How can you continue to get, for me, it's like I'm still on this, journey where I'm figuring out, okay, I'm a coach, but now what's my philosophy, right? I have core ideas, I really like, I'm kind of like, if you're a basketball fan, Steve Kerr, and just playing like beautiful basketball, unselfish, trying to get people to really like buy into the team aspect, into something that's bigger than themselves, instead of like all this, like, I don't know, sometimes like in social media that really makes me upset. And what really kind of pushed me off from like the entrepreneurship and like this coaching journey is everyone's like, just go do it yourself. But as humans, we're social creatures. So how can I work together to bring teams together, right? And I'm still figuring out that philosophy out with basketball, but also like with other things, like if I'm a substitute teacher or a teacher, or, working with youth, how can we collaborate and use all of our strengths to come and have a better product, whether it's, test scores, which are, that's a whole conversation for another day. So at the end of the day, knowing your impact is going to help you be a better team player. And when you're a better team player, it's going to help you, figure out how to meet the mission that you are going for. So with that being said, that's what I have for you today. But I really would love for you, if you're watching this on YouTube, comment below. Like, what is something that your impact, like, that you're good at? Or something you can share about another person, because sometimes it's easier to reflect on other people and share that publicly, and you can keep your knowledge to yourself. But I'd love to know. Please connect with me. I'll leave my social medias below. I don't create content for the followers or all of that. I create content for the connection, right? So I would love for you to reach out and connect with me and let me know what you think. That's what lights me up about creating content. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for another episode next week. Sending y'all a lot of love. Go impact the world. Let's go.